So it's Pete Wanat?
Yes, however you want to say it's fine.
Oh, fuck. How would you say it?
I wouldn't. I don't have to. You do.
Hey, what's up? It's Ryan, and I am joined here by Pete Wanat from executive producer on Wanted Weapons of Fate. Pete, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for coming by.
It's pretty bright in here, as you can tell, because we have our sunglasses on.
It is. It's overwhelmingly bright.
Despite it being night.
That's okay. I'm okay with that.
Now, I just got a little demo of Wanted Weapons of Fate, a little third-person shooter action. Obviously, heavily inspired by the recent motion picture, the 2008 Angelina Jolie crazy blood fest, curving bullets and madness. How much influence does the game take directly from the film, and like how much does it go from the comic? Because I noticed a little bit of both going on there.
Well, I mean, I think we're definitely the game definitely takes place in the Timur Bekmambetov, who's the director of the film, in his world, and everything from the game that you see visually matches Timur's visual, but there's a lot of elements from the comic book, whether it's the suit or Wesley's attitude or the tons of items that are secrets that we put for fans of the Wanted comic book. But what we really wanted to do was use the game as sort of a place where the movie and comic could meet in the middle, and I think we do it going away. And I also think that we provide a really nice sequel storyline to the fans of the film, as well as sort of give fans of the movie some insight into what happened before the events of the film, so that they understand why Cross and Sloan are at odds at the beginning of the movie. And I could tell more, but I don't want to spoil it for anybody who hasn't seen the film, because there's a lot of twists and turns in the movie as there are in the game.
It is a sequel. You're not just remaking the movie over again in video game form, but it also has a lot of prequel content to it. How does that work kind of within the relative chronology of the game?
Yeah, it's sort of the game is almost the bread on which the sandwich of the movie is put. So we tell both elements that happened before and after, and there have been so many bad games based on that do the sort of see the movie, tell the movie experience. And since our audience is obviously mature based on your description of the blood fest and whatnot, we felt like it really wasn't sort of the place for us to sort of regurgitate the movie storyline. We feel like fans of the movie saw the movie, and therefore they don't need it to be rehashed for them in game form.
No, I have to say that the short bit that I played, I was enjoying myself. It made me think, damn, I do want to see Wanted again. Well, it's been a couple of months.
The nice part for us is that if you go back and watch the movie on DVD, especially on Blu-ray, there's tons of codes hidden within the movie and on the DVDs and on the Blu-rays, that if you find those codes and enter them in on either the 360 or the PS3 or the PC versions, you'll unlock different modes of gameplay, secret characters, secret weapons, different abilities. So if you are a fan of the movie and you want to go back and rewatch it, you'll find yourself looking for those types of clues, and then you enter them in the game and you're sort of rewarded for that content.
Now, speaking of characters, I've seen so far both Cross and Wesley as playable characters. Is that the bulk of it? Are there going to be some surprises as far as who you can play as kind of in the core story?
There are, those are the two major characters that you'll play throughout the storyline. We also have 10 different characters or skins that you can jump into, some of which we've shown, some of which will be a surprise. I think there's a couple pretty shocking ones that have not been revealed yet, and so I think we'll look forward to see, how those get unveiled to the public.
Awesome. One of the things I did notice while playing the game today was it totally had those perfect Wanted sound effects for like the bullet spinning when it follows the bullet when you're doing a curved bullet kill. How much access did you guys have to kind of original assets from the film, or was a lot of that just you kind of finding key points that you really enjoyed and figuring out how to recreate that stuff?
One of the things about sort of doing a movie-based game long after the release of the film is that we got all of it. All of the sound effects, all of the Academy Award-winning sound effects were given to Grin Barcelona to implement into the game. The entire soundtrack and score is all in the game as well. So all of that stuff that was done for the film, we actually had the time to go back and get that stuff out of the archives and really, put it directly into the game. So when you hear all that sound effects, you're hearing the direct stuff from the movie as well.
So Grin has kind of been picking up a lot of license action lately. What's kind of the different philosophy that they have as far as approaching that stuff?
Well, I think one of the things that separates Grin in terms of what they're doing with licensed titles is they, very similar to the way we look at it, is they don't really take it as, hey, this is a license. They take it as these are sort of good rules for a world and a universe that people want to explore, and then they go and make the game around that. I think whether that was done with Bionic Commando or the upcoming Terminator, and certainly for Wanted, we establish some parameters of what the gameplay and what the world's going to be like, and then really try to give the freedom to the developer to create a fun game experience around that, and not view it as, hey, this is a constrictive license that you can't have fun with.
Well, I think that mindset's definitely paying off. What I've seen so far of the game is looking very awesome. You guys got release dates, platforms. Where are you headed right now?
Yeah, it's PS3, 360, and PC, and the game will be available on March 24th.
Awesome. Pete, thanks for your time.
Thanks so much for having me.
And look forward to more on Wanted Weapons of Fate on GiantBomb.com.